Hello and welcome to the IFSC Nations Grand Finale in Fukuoka, Japan. And we are here for the Boulder Finals. This is a mixed gender, mixed team event. And don't worry, we'll be taking you through all of the rules as we try to crown our gold medalist. My name is Matt Groob and I'm joined once again by route setter extraordinaire Garrett Gregor in the commentary box. Garrett, first of all, sir, just explain who you are and what your role is at this event.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. My name is Garrett Gregor. I'm a route setter of, I don't know how many years now, 25-something years. And I was the head route setter at the Paris Olympics. I was involved in the Tokyo Olympics. And yeah, we're here in Fukuoka setting what is the second sort of mixed gender competition in the IFSC's history. So it's an exciting day.
It is indeed, and we'll be talking a lot about this mixed gender side of things. But to briefly explain to everyone watching, there are men's boulders and women's boulders. They are done in a sort of very traditional IFSC sense. The scoring system is exactly the same, 25 for a top, 10 for a zone, minus 0.1 for every failed attempt to that scoring area. But down on the far left of your screen, you can see a red and black boulder. That is the mixed boulder. So at the end of the normal boulders, the coaches will decide which of two athletes, one man and one woman, will compete on that boulder, and then they will try to top it out. That's the basics. We'll go into it more in detail. But Garrett, I mean, how on earth have you set a mixed gender boulder? Because, I mean, that must be a difficult task.
Yeah, I mean, route setting is a difficult task in general, let alone for trying to set for a balance between the two genders. You know, in climbing, you don't often have differences between what men and women are or aren't able to get onto. And that's, I think, what this competition is trying to get at the heart of, is that there's an equal playing field for everyone. As a route setter, though, it's really difficult to sort of like make that field of play equitable across both genders, and to try to challenge them in different ways, but to not give any sort of like advantage to one gender or the other.
Yeah, exactly that, and the advantage is an interesting one because obviously there are height differences, there are physical differences between men and women, and you've twice now decided to put the mixed boulder on the slabbier section of the wall. I'm guessing that's a fairly deliberate choice.
Yeah, and you know, just looking at the wall, you can kind of see that there's not a ton of overhanging terrain. Even on the overhanging terrain itself, it's not super steep. So as route setters, again, like, we're trying to sort of create this equitable playing field. And the best way to do that in our minds was to make it something that is less reliance on the space between two holds and more reliance on technical abilities. So you've seen over the course of the last couple of days that the mixed boulder has sort of had this nothing too dynamic, nothing like overly large holds, and yeah, I think by doing it on a space like that, you're able to get the best from each.
Okay, well, we'll see that in a couple of minutes. Right now, we are looking at the teams who have made it this far into the finals. There was a qualifying round. The top two teams, which was Korea and Israel, made it through to the finals. We then had a boulder elimination round, what you probably think of as a semi-final, and that is where the other two teams qualified. Team USA have just been introduced. Team Korea. Here is Team Israel. And as they come on, and you will notice coaches on the stage as well. And they have a big part to play in this competition. Usually we don't really hear too much from the coaches. Here they are allowed to coach. They're allowed to tell the athletes what to do. There is no isolation in this format. And Gregor, again, another thing for you guys to think about, because that changes the difficulty of the boulders as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the fact that there's no on-site, one of the factors that a route setter traditionally plays with, there's sort of like what people refer to as three main things. You integrate an element of risk, you can integrate an element of intensity, which is like how hard something is physically, risk being not in the sense that somebody's going to get hurt, but risk being in the sense that you might be standing on something that isn't very secure, or you're in positions that aren't very secure. And then the final one is complexity, and complexity being something like there might be multiple different ways to solve it, and it's about them being able to figure it out on the go. And you can't really play with that third variable as much in this type of format because the climbers are able to see each other climb. Granted, what I was going to say is, granted, in general these days, climbers are so well educated that the complexity is almost not a thing, and I think that's part of the reason we chose to go with this format as well, because, you know, we talked about this in the previous round, but just because I watch Yoshiyuki do something doesn't mean I'm going to be able to do it. So
yeah, exactly that, and that's been discussed quite a lot. So especially the confusion there on stage, the athletes not knowing which way to go. They've got it now. Yeah, and that was something we brought up in Lead yesterday, which is, although let's say you send your male teammate up the lead wall first so you can watch how they do it in a very different way.
Absolutely.
But what you can tell the athlete sport is how a hold feels, you know, the body movement and all those little things that you would have to spend attempts doing. You can use the team to help you on those various things, and I find that fascinating.
Yeah, 100%. And the coach in me, you know, so I coached for a team called Team ABC for a long time. You know, Brooke Rabbit, came out of that program, who I'm sure you know, and our viewers know. And yeah, one of the other things I think are the advantages that comes from that is it's a mental advantage too, because now your teammates gone up that and they can give you the added bonus of knowing not necessarily exactly what that hold feels like, but also you got this. Like, and coming from your teammate, that means something.
All right, well, we are looking at the athletes who will be competing, and a few things to discuss here. One is the invitation process. So the invites were given to teams based on world rankings. Not everyone accepted their invitation. Some teams deciding to take a little well-deserved rest time at the end of the season. Those nations who did accept it, they could pick their athletes. And what's interesting is, although some have only brought 4 athletes for Boulder and Lead, Korea and Japan have both brought 6, quite a big team, and they have swapped out climbers for the final. So Shienso was not in the Boulder elimination round, for example, neither was Dokyun Lee, and I think that's really interesting. But let's talk about Boulder number 1. So Garrett, take it away. What have they got ahead of us?
Sure, this is women's Boulder number 1. You can see that the climbers are going to have to start out by running up this ramp here and then stabbing this left foot at the same time as they catch the start hold. After that, they're going to move into these 2 really small holds, these little technic jibs, move over right to the 10 points. After they've secured the 10 points, they're going to grab this jib and try to mantle up really, really technical, I think fairly straightforward climbing, but it's a real test of their technical ability.
And then this boulder for the men, way more physical.
Yeah, for the men's, a surprising amount of like technical skill required for the beginning. There's some body positions going on. You can see here they're going to have to stand on a really small foot, but then they get into these 2 red holds and then they're going to have to jump out from not having really any foot, make their way into the zone that's pretty slopey, as you can see there. Really powerful shoulder moves, and then get over to the finish if they've gotten through that Gaston section.
And that finish hold, I mean, it's blocked, there's no feet. Are you just expecting a giant lock-off with the right arm in order to hit it with the left? Or
that's right, you're going to have to, and it's such that the idea is that if somebody was sort of making their way into the Gaston and they've got both hands here, they can't just like dive at this thing. So it really forces, or I should say like, encourages the climbers to be a lot more secure on that second red hold.
Well, can't wait for that. Well, the teams are sitting down at the front. Team USA will come out first as they qualified last. And I like the fact that there is a real sort of a difference with that, because you want to qualify further up the order if possible, because then you get to see other athletes climb. The first climber out, or the first team out, I should say, does have quite a disadvantage on this one, so it's going to be interesting.
It's true, yeah, and you know, again, fortunately, we're not experimenting with the complexity of the boulders quite as much, so there's going to be a little less, but even still, they have no idea, and seeing somebody do something or seeing another team go before you, that is, as you said, a real advantage. So Japan, Israel, Korea, not that they need another advantage, but they have one.
They have one anyway, yeah. All right, well, our audience is in. It's sold out here in the stadium. There's a fantastic atmosphere. The first time first time we've come back to Japan since Hachioji a couple of years ago. It was the last time the I4C was here. It's great to be back, and Team USA is underway. Zoe Yi and Paloma Slowick for the women, and then Vale Everett and Declan Osgood for the men. And everyone here competed in lead yesterday, so skin might be a little bit of a factor on it.
That's right. right. Not only did they compete in lead yesterday, but they also competed in the Boulder elimination. So we'll really see how much that plays into what they're able to do today.
All right, well, let's see. The coach paces back and forth between the men and the women.
You can see even from starting, like, they're not quite as gung-ho as they were the other day.
That's true. A little less snap. Well, Zoe Yi deciding to lead things off for the women, and then Val Everett falling straight away on the starting hole. But look at this from Zoe. And I asked you about this mantle, where it was kind of like a foot up first and rock up, or a drop down, and you said more of a drop down.
That's right, yeah, you're going to shuffle across on this big blocks volume here. She's going to make her way campusing over, as you can see, just as she grabs the crimp there, and now it's this test of technical ability. Is she able to do this mantle? The foot is not very good, so she's really going to have to put a lot of trust into it, but really showing great promise here.
Yeah, she flashed the zone, so that's the maximum 10. Can she flash the top? 25 in sight. Trusting that left foot, inching the right foot up.
And Zoe getting a little bit stuck there, but really a great showing for her first attempt there.
That was impressive stuff from her. Vale Everett is back on. He makes the move out, but the zone holds the next big yellow one above his head.
Yeah, that's right. So not only do you have to do this positioning beginning section, but that jump is no joke.
Now Paloma, a taller climber. I can never work this out with mantles, but I always was under the impression that if you're taller, it's harder. Would you agree or not?
You know, I think it depends a little bit about. So what's interesting about the way this volume is oriented is that the foot is a little bit below your hand, and there's a little bit more space from the hand. So in the sense that you might have something really close to where you need to stand up on, it could be more advantageous to somebody that's a little bit smaller. Fortunately, with the way that volume is shaped, there's a lot of different places to put your feet, a lot of different places to place your hand, and so hopefully there's a good balance there for tall and short climbers.
All right, well, let's see how that develops. We've got 2 minutes 39 on the clock now. The men not getting any points on the board yet. The women both got zone flashes. And the zone is worth pointing out for the women. It's the entire green volume. So the second they touch it and use it, it will count. Yeah. There's not a jib on it.
I really feel for the U.S. You know, them and Korea, they had to go through this elimination heat. And I don't know if it looks like it to you, but it looks like to me that just in their body language, they're just not quite as revved up, and hopefully they're able to turn that around. I don't know if it's just this Boulder or...
No, I can see that too. In Korea, you know, yes, although Chen So and Do-Kyen Lee had to compete in the lead, they didn't compete in the Boulder elimination, so they have had this substitution system. The athletes were free to bring 6, but obviously certain budget restraints and just athletes' time is a factor in this one.
And it's an interesting move by Korea to do that for their team, because obviously the lead climb is going to take a little less out of you physically in terms of skin from sending multiple attempts over and over again on boulders.
Yeah, we'll try not to spoil the lead results, but by the end of this competition we probably will be, so just be aware of that.
Thanks for warning me before I put my foot in my mouth.
I get an awful lot of people getting very, very angry at me, but we will be talking about who won it because it will be relevant by the end. Right, Zoe Yi rocking up on that left foot. She came close before. Let's see if she can find a bit more.
She makes this sit-up, or she makes sitting on that left foot look a lot cleaner than Paloma did, but her challenge now is going to be whether or not she has the leg strength here, or can bring her right hand in to get a little bit more into the left hand. She's not quite able to do it there, really relying on the right crimp.
Yeah, exactly. So Zoe's still struggling. I didn't see any difference in her foot placement either. It didn't seem that she changed that position.
No, and you know, with that part of the volume being further away from the wall, that's going to be the best place to do that from. And so, while I talked about before, there's a variety of different places. It's nuanced in the sense that, like, you could put a heel on, you could put a toe on, but in general, you want that foot to be further away from the wall so that as you're standing into the wall, you're not falling away.
Exactly. Well, Paloma now working her way over to the right-hand side, hits the heel.
Paloma's well going with the heel, and you can see this shot's great because her foot was a little further back on that volume and not quite able to rock over it.
And the men not getting close, and the moment they are both resting, 9 seconds to go, they're going to get timed out, and yes, I think some fatigue really kicking in.
Yeah, and that's not a great rotation from Team USA. They only got 20 points out of that rotation, and you got to imagine that Korea is probably going to get a few more.
Yeah, exactly. So a tricky start for Team USA. That was the bobble from Paloma. She came down. Zoe got very close, just one bump away. But it was all about that sort of pistol squat move on the left leg, which she couldn't quite unleash. Those fingers uncurling. Goodness,
that's right. And really trying hard there, you can see, but not quite able to get the margin she needed to move up into the higher Gaston.
Yeah. Okay, right. Spoiler alerts, everyone, because Japan... Oh, is it Japan out next?
No, we've got Korea next, I believe.
Okay, well, again, spoiler alert, everyone, because Korea came to win the at least the lead competition last night, which they did succeed in doing. It was close, but there was some heroics by Jeon Kim at the end, who is not in this competition. And again, they brought a strong squad here, especially with Lee and Jeon.
Absolutely, and I think Korea was favored to make it all the way through to the finals, but they had to do that extra round themselves. So we'll see if that plays any sort of. But
was that an attempt?
I think it was. Yeah, I couldn't quite catch that, but I'm pretty sure that was her first attempt. Not able to run up that ramp and catch it, but there she is. Excuse me, that's her teammate there.
Yeah, so I think Chanso might have had a fall there, but anyway, regardless, Do-Kyun Lee has flashed the zone here, and the change in pop between USA and Korea
is
quite obvious. This is a giant right arm lock off. He needs to match it, does easily. Do-Kyun Lee on form, and that's a max 25.
And Do-Kyun Lee, you've got to expect that he's going to come out and be ready to go. Here he is brushing for his teammate, doing everything he can to help the team, getting his 25 points. We'll see if the rest of the team can do so. Yeah,
Yijin Jung nodded to herself there, just dropping the top of that boulder. Now we're watching Yijun Chon, who reaches up into the thumbs.
And there's nothing really to stand on there for that right foot. So you're kind of forced to have to really launch, and you can't kind of like ease your way into the jump.
Now remember, although both athletes don't have to climb the boulder, it is the total score of the two of them that's added together. And we saw some interesting tactics in the elimination round yesterday where, maybe an athlete wants to go for it top, whereas their teammate needed the zone to get points. There's an awful lot to consider here, but at the moment, plenty of time. And this is looking good for Chen. So she's got that left foot way left.
Definitely left, and you can see her standing on her foot. She's got a little more margin in the arms now. You can see her swapping the right hand. Yep, pushing over on the left side of the volume. And just pops through over her arm. She surprised herself even there, I think.
She did. You don't often see her react kind of like that, but 24.9, so she did have a slip on that first move, but that... Yeah, she as you said, she surprised herself there.
Well, point one difference there, hopefully that doesn't play too big of a margin for Korea, but she's doing everything she can. We'll see if her teammate now can do the same.
Exactly. All right, well, now this is where, and I was discussing this, I had Roxy from Team Australia in the commentary box, and she was saying how when she was doing the boulder elimination, she actually felt lots of pressure from her team, because if you don't get it done, they all gather around you, you've got the coaches watching, you've got the audience watching, and you're suddenly like, oh my goodness, that...
You've got to perform for the rest of your team, so...
And this is the position both of these athletes are in currently.
That's right. Fortunately, I think Roxy was in the unfortunate position the other day of having all of her teammates around her.
Exactly.
But at least Korea's only got one man and one woman watching each other, plus their coaches. But yeah, that's real. The pressure performing for your team as well.
Oh, fingertips, not quite. The jump. It's quite a weird move, that. It can feel like you're quite out there. Because you're reaching way up above your head, you're balancing.
That's right. And if you're not able to quite trust that left foot, you can see, I don't know if we'll get a replay or not, but she wasn't quite able to extend that right arm enough. And so she's stuck sort of in this place where she's just reaching, as you said, for that left hand. And there's not really much on that left hand.
And look at this from Do-Kyun Lee, who's polishing up the no texture down there. Making sure it's nice and
you don't want it to be dirty while you're stepping on no texture. But, frankly, that's not really far off, because any sort of like dirt or debris, it's going to make a difference. And especially if there's no texture, as we're setting throughout the week, we'll actually take like sort of, not vacuums, but air blowers and sort of blow off the area. Yeah.
Don't know that. All right, well, he's back on. 47 seconds. There's a bit more urgency in these two athletes. That was closer, John.
It looks like he's got great positioning. He's just not quite high enough and to the right enough, I think.
I love the little discussion they had there, and this is why I think this format is brilliant. You can give advice. It's cool to see.
We'll see if she takes it to heart. She's going opted for the toe. Shifting. You can see starting to extend that right arm now. Oh, but the foot pops off. 20 seconds. I'm not sure it's enough time.
And I don't think it's enough time for Chon either, who's not looking close. No, so interesting. Korea not running away with this yet, which is, and that leaves
He's going to go back on from here for, not enough. But smart thinking there from Korea, because ultimately, if you can even get to 10 there in your last attempt, it's gonna help.
All right, well, if we are looking, and I think, although I'm falling into this trap where I'm counting out Israel at the moment from the podium. Certainly they're in contention for the podium, and you never know, maybe silver or gold as well. They have a strong squad.
Yeah, definitely don't count them out. No. I mean, they were right on the heels of Japan in the qualifying round. They didn't have to do an elimination heat, so they're going to be a little bit fresher. I think a few of their athletes did have to do lead last night, but as we said before, it doesn't quite take as much physically from your skin, at least. So we'll see how they were able to recover stamina-wise.
Well, there's the scoreboard. 59.9 is Korea's total, jumping above the USA, who struggled in that round. There's the clock. 5 minutes will start when the buzzer goes, and Team Israel run on. Keep an eye especially on Oren down on the far right. He made his first ever finals and his first ever IFSC senior comp. He's certainly one to watch. And Adi Bach, his teammate, was competing in lead last night as well.
And Israel knows, again, what to do. It's a matter of will they be able to do it. So were they paying attention to those subtle nuances of where to place your foot? And Israel coming out really strong here on the right. Sticks the first move. And we'll see if he's able to move into this shoulder. Both Israel climbers climbing very well here, making their way quickly to the top. Wow.
Adi Bach with the toes locked in. He does flash. Another one for him.
Excellent work there for Israel's men.
And this is, oh no, yeah, Almo just falls, stretching up. So talk to me about it, because we've seen multiple people fall on this. So what's making this stretch so difficult?
Well, you know, what they don't want to do is to stand on that foot. Mm-hmm. And that's why you see them get stuck in that position of then going to reach, because until and unless you actually put weight onto that foot, you can't start to extend the right arm, and that's going to put that hold further and further away from you. Unless you got go-go gadget arms. Another cartoon reference.
I'm with you on that one, mate. I haven't seen that in years. Apparently they made a film of it, I think. I haven't seen the film.
Is that right?
Yeah. They did a sort of a live action thing out of it. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but they did. Anyway, back to climbing. Oren is in action next. It's interesting that Adi went first on that climb and not Oren. Oren maybe wanting to get all of the beta before he had to go for a
That's
flash
something the coaches might have discussed. You know, maybe if one person's better at dynamic moves, they might choose to go or opt to go first so that their teammate has more of that mental fortitude going into their attempt. You can see her placing her foot a little left. See that she's still not quite able to extend the right arm, but just gets enough on the thumb, and we'll see if she's able to start extending the arm now. Not quite.
No, that thumb, she was almost trying to pinch the hold, but it was more of pushing off the left leg than anything else, I think, that she needed there.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Chenso's
top of that might have been really important, because this seems like a difficult first boulder for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's right. So, you know, what you see in Doyoon and from Israel's top climber, the sort of difference in levels there from what they're capable of doing physically, it's pretty noticeable. Which isn't to say that these other climbers don't have a chance by any means. You can see here Israel's other climber making their way into this mantle. Chooses to put the foot right there on the corner as a toe, but the hand comes off.
She looks straight down from the
Could
skin.
have been an issue of she competed in the lead last night. Perhaps for her, doesn't have quite that spring.
Yeah, well, the zone has been flashed by everyone. Actually, Maya had one more attempt to the zone, but pretty much a flash to the zone. The top is proving tricky here.
Oren as well, I think, competed in the lead last night, so we'll see if he's able to make it work here.
So Oren into
Or maybe it was his teammate.
Yeah,
no,
Oren wasn't in.
I'm second guessing myself. I'm sorry.
Oren, I think, because I talked to him before about this, and he's not a big fan.
Oh, okay.
I don't think endurance is his thing.
Okay.
So he's a boulder specialist, but pressure again. Boulder specialist. Kind of got to
I was going to say right now this jumps on his friend.
Yeah.
Really doing a great job of straightening out this left arm here. Alma makes her way. You can see her getting into the margin there. Not quite able to make it work. Looks like she just came off as she switched to more of a Gaston instead of as a thumb.
Is there any edge on that hole?
No, underneath the bottom of that is just a real slopey jib. And yeah, so there's not much purchase, and it's much more reliant on, are you actually pushing up into the hold, and are you actually relying on your feet rather than your knees?
Okay, interesting stuff. Well, 1 minute left, and the women have got to step up. As is Oren, he hasn't even got the zone yet.
Just misses the left hand there, or maybe doesn't miss it, but just slips off the left hand.
Yeah. So difficult times for both men and women in this round, and even Maya looking a bit fatigued. She just about nails the campus with the right hand here.
Yeah, you've got to think that under normal circumstances, this campus section would be nothing for Maya. But she's able to get up. Last time that foot popped, you can see her gets her right foot up.
Skipping around with that left foot. Can she stand up? She's so close.
What a great fight from Maya. So close.
Wow, well, that is time up, and Oren will have one last attempt, but no points on the board for Oren's fist bumps, but that, again, is going to leave them below Korea, and now you start to think about Japan here, because this could be sort of Japan versus Korea for this boulder, certainly.
That's right, and, you know, Korea put themselves in a good position with 59 points, Israel with 44, and I think we've got Team USA in 20. So we're already seeing that separation here after the first rotation from the first three teams, and Japan's going to do everything they can to put themselves ahead of the pack.
Well, let's check it out then. Yeah, Israel 44.9 is their total, so quite a way behind Korea's 59.9. And although obviously you can't win a comp at this stage, it does become pretty difficult to catch up their deficit. Right, let's see. Team Japan run on, and they have got a heck of a team here. Sota Amagasa joins Sarato and Raku down on the right-hand side, and then Miho Nanaka versus Mao Nakamura. And of course, Mao picking up her first gold medal in Salt Lake earlier in the year, so she's brimming with confidence, you'd imagine.
Absolutely, and I think that confidence is going to translate into maybe doing this boulder first try.
Yeah, she's the slab queen, so let's see if she can slab climb this out here. Sota Amagasa does have a little bit of revenge here for a disappointing World Champs event, so he's gunning for something.
Certainly taking his revenge on that jump. Moves into the 10 really quickly, and I feel like he's going to make quick work of this top section.
No one has dropped it once they've got to this stage, and he's got one left hand on, makes the match easy stuff for Sota.
Here comes Mao now. Opts to put the toe on. You can see just how much more comfortable she looks standing on the edge of that volume. And while she's smaller, she still has that margin that's required to get up into this because she trusts that left foot.
Now, I would have put a lot of money on that lady flashing that boulder. She's done it very well. She's so good on her feet.
Well, fortunately, I don't think they allow you to gamble, but I think that would have been a smart bet.
Allegedly. I mean, I'm sure there's ways. I'm just saying. Mao Nakamura with a flash, and then watching Sarato. You're going to get arrested. Sarato
I think the camera is unable to keep up with how fast Sarato made it through that bottom section. We're going to have to get a real slow-mo now.
Easy from Sarato. With that one, that is a real statement of intent from Team Japan here. They are out to win this
That
thing.
second top is going to go a long way.
Yeah. Well, Japan will jump to the top of the standings, and now this is where things get quite interesting, is the men will go down, help the women out. They'll give some advice, they'll brush fist bumps all round, but all pressure and all eyes on Miho Nanaka right now.
And as you said, as the lone athlete that's competing for your team now, you feel like you're the last one that's got to make this happen. I wonder if any of that's going to Miho's head right now. She's a pretty seasoned competitor, though, so we'll see what she makes of.
Yes, I can't see her getting too stressed by this situation, but it's, you know, fairly unusual for all athletes, so who knows, but she's in a good position right now. If she can just bring that right hand through, she's going to as well. It should be done from here. Miho gets it done, and that's a flash from her.
That's 4 flashes from Team Japan there. A perfect rotation. 100 points.
Wow.
And a clear advantage from the rest of the field there.
Now, tell me, I mean, you obviously set these boulders. In terms of difficulty, where do the first climbs stand compared to the rest of it? What I mean is this an indication that Team Japan are on form?
Well, I think for sure, as evidenced by the rest of the field, right? Regardless of how difficult the boulders are, it shows that Team Japan is above and beyond what the other teams are showing today. In terms of the difficulty of the boulders from what we assessed, I would say that the second boulder for the men is going to be a bit riskier in the sense that there's not a lot of hands to grab onto, so it's going to be a lot more dependent on how comfortable they feel in their technical abilities.
Interesting.
And that's very, very different from what we saw in the first boulder, where they had something in their hands they could really grab and squeeze. And as a competitor, if that's your first boulder, sometimes it's easier than going out into something where you can't actually use that like physicality.
Well, we're watching Mao's flash. It all happened at lightning speed.
All of it looked easy for Japan, though.
It was interesting how long Miho took before she went as well. I was quite surprised by that. She really took her time to clean that boulder, make sure, breathe, you know.
Yeah, and she's got to know that she doesn't have to flash. She's just got to get a top, but maybe she's thinking ahead to the next couple of boulders, and perhaps she thinks that there's a way for her to fall behind, and so she needs to make a camp here because she feels like she can do it. But you can see the excitement there from Team Japan as she tops out.
It's so funny, you never see athletes clap. And they're clapping a lot, obviously, so the clouds of chalk coming off everywhere. Right, the perfect 100 for Team Japan jumps way above Korea, who now suddenly have a big task ahead of them. Team USA, you've got to say at this stage, it would require a bit of a miracle for them to get anywhere near, certainly the top two at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. And Team Israel surprisingly behind at the moment coming into the second bowl. So that's the story of the round so far. Just wait for this moment. And although the athletes have returned to the warm-up area, just a reminder to everyone, there is no isolation zone in this event.
Well, Miracle was one of my favorite movies, sports movies of all time. So we'll see if they can repeat. You've never seen
What's
Miracle?
What's it about? Give me a
no,
summary.
No, you've never seen Miracle.
What sport are we talking?
Hockey, the 1984 Miracle on Ice.
I don't know if hockey's a sport. I think
oh, wow. Hot take there.
I'm a big basketball, American football, I'm down with that. Ice hockey, it's just too cold and skaty. It's slippy, I don't understand it, and
Coming
I'm rubbish.
From the guy who commentates on ice climbing.
That's a good point, yes, I should rein that one in. Right, let's return to this. You said very powerful starts to men's two.
Indeed, yeah, so they start on this pretty good hold. It's a little bit slopey, so as they get above it, it gets worse and worse, of course. And they're going to have to stab this foot at the same time as they catch the big red hold, and then make their way over using that zone. Looks a lot bigger in this photo than it actually is. It's not much of anything at all. Even if they get the zone 2 and they get their feet in the right position, it's still quite a hard move to go to the finish.
And then women's 2, I know this kind of corner feature, and it is quite a corner.
It is, and they're going to make their way through this steep section here. You can see they have 1 point on each of these start holds. They're going to jump into this big rock city hold with both hands, make their way up into the zone, for 10 points, and then move their way out left. And the big Rock City domes get worse and worse and worse as they move through. They're going to have to wedge their foot into the seam on the left, which isn't quite as obvious. That's more of that complexity variable coming into play. Grab this small crimp and then sort of hope they can have enough stamina to launch to the top.
Team Japan, watch on. I've got something to ask you, Garrett, actually, and I'm always wondered this. On M2, and I'm sure we'll see a shot of it in a sec, the zone, one hole before the final hold, does that generally indicate that last move is very difficult? Like, why do you put them so close together?
Well, it's actually more an indication of what should be rewarded. We felt as a team that the first move and splitting the field with just the first move wouldn't do as well as splitting the field with getting control of the hold right before the finish. So, in a perfect system, we'd have more zones, I think, where we can separate amongst the field, as we saw in Paris. You have a 5 and a 10, and in Tokyo. But we don't here, and so you can only reward one place, and you choose to reward the place that you think is going to separate the field better.
Okay, interesting. Thank you. It's one of those things as a viewer, I guess you can think. Sometimes you think like, well, why is it? We're looking at it. This is the boulder I'm talking about. So, although the first move is hard, as you said, it's the second run across, or sorry, step across that you want to see rewarded.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
Got you. Okay, well, Team USA will be building themselves up. Here they come onto the stage, and they need to find something here, whether it's just a little bit more pop. You can see the coach kind of cheer them on, getting them going. And, I think fatigue certainly was a factor. But at least for the men, it's a bit more, apart from the first move, it's a bit more speed.
This first move is going to be no joke. So if they're feeling it at all in their shoulders or their biceps, they're going to have to try and forget about that.
Okay, well, big task for them, and then the women will clean up these volcano-style holds on the corner feature here. Some big moves required for them as well.
Dale getting set up. He's one of the taller climbers, so he's going to have a little bit easier time getting to that hold, but you can see they're missing that foot. He still has to hit that foot to make it work.
Zoe, for the second time, goes first here, and she's flashed the zone, so this is good stuff from Team USA. And these dishes, they look very shallow on camera. What are they like in real life?
They're even shallower climbing than so, that first one, there's a small little dimple there in there for 2 fingers. The top one, wow, Zoe really showing her technical prowess on both of these boulders. Wasn't able to get it done on the first rotation, but able to pull it through all the way to the finish there.
The Team USA have a bit of a moral boost there with that one. Oh, Vale pops the foot there and goes down. But he did well to get stood up. And that was brilliant from Zoe. I mean, I know it's a powerful boulder, but it didn't look like she was putting in any effort.
Yeah, Zoe is really coming into her own in this competition, and she showed her prowess yesterday on the lead route. She showed her prowess today on both these boulders, despite not getting the top on the first one. But setting up USA as best as she can.
Okay, so Declan, who had a fantastic lead route.
Yeah, and you can see here, had you awarded the zone on just the first hold, you're not sort of rewarding this other additional move. And not able to separate quite as well.
No, I understand it. It's just, I mean, I know how much thought you guys put into the zones and where you put them, and also the order of boulders, so it's so good to hear it firsthand. Now, Paloma is a move away. Can she pull herself up? And the final hold she's going to, is there any lift on that? Or is it flat?
The final hold is quite good. She just didn't quite get far enough over it. But, yeah, I mean, doing well on her first attempt there. She got a zone. We'll see if she's able to get to the finish, though.
Now, I don't think he's going to be awarded this yet or then. He might be, but the judges are looking for it to use the hole, and sort of wobbling like that isn't using it.
That's right. The way the rule is written, a competitor must make use of in order to control the 10 points. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they get awarded for that.
Yeah, Vale did. Oh, hang on. So Vale did get on. Or was he? I've lost track.
It does seem that way.
It does look like he has, yes. Okay. Well, we'll see. I mean, appeals can come through. I mean, to me, that's using because he's there.
Absolutely. You can see as the weight shifts, and that's what judges are trained to look for, is when the hip moves after he's made control of that hold. You're not really able to move your hips if you're not in control of other holds, so that's one of the things that judges look for.
The difficulty, though, is the foot placement. You can't see that right foot.
Absolutely, and not only can he not see it, but if he tries to look, he's going to be pushed off because the top of that wall is overhanging, as we made reference to yesterday, and it's going to push him off.
Very close, but not quite. He will get some confidence from that then. Now, Declan back on the wall.
Doing good work there to get that extra 10 points, though, at the very least. And that's gonna help USA, but they really want to get a top out of one or both of these men.
Yeah, Paloma took a deep breath off camera there. She launches up. He spins down, and really the pressure is on Paloma.
She's a little more confident now here. See if she's able to carry that confidence to the top. Looks definitely more confident going to that hold. Yes. But now does she have the stamina to get to the top?
Yeah, those feet slipped out of the corner the time before they slip again. Can she find some more purchase? What watching that left foot slide around. Maybe a bit of a turn, a drop, something.
Yeah, and maybe the size of Zoe's foot fit in there a little bit nicer than Paloma's, or maybe the type of shoes she's wearing fit in there nicer, or she's using a little bit lower down where it flares out a little bit wider. There's a lot of nuance into where and how you stand in that scene.
Declan, very, very careful and delicate here. And there has, by the way, been an appeal on that zone, as we expected there to be.
Oh, Declan really close there to getting another top for his team and another 25 points, or excuse me, another 15 points for his team.
So Paloma up towards the top. She's been here twice before. She's got 5 seconds. Whatever happens, she's going to have to launch. I don't think it's going to be enough time. It's not.
She has it in her. Vale really trying to go and extend to the finish there. You see, trying something different on that last attempt, but ultimately, Team USA not in a good position here going into the next boulder.
Started off so well with that flash, and you can see the despondency as they walk off. They know that that's left them probably outside of the running for a podium here at this stage. But Zoe Yee, fantastic work from her.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can tell there, but as she sets that left foot in, it just gets locked in, and she makes that top move look like it's no problem. Declan coming painfully close to that finish.
Yeah, he was desperately crouching over. Excuse me. Now, so the zone that's on there is being appealed. I can very much see that being rejected. Like, I don't think it's a zone.
I wouldn't be surprised. It didn't look like control to me, and I wouldn't be surprised if that gets overruled by the chief judge.
So, pressure on Korea right now. They will have watched Team Japan absolutely smash it on Boulder #1. They need to step up their game right now.
Yeah, they're going to know that too, and I think the women are going to feel pretty good about what's gone on for Boulder #2 for them, having seen somebody do it. The men, on the other hand, with something that's a little bit more balancy, maybe there's a little more doubt in their minds as to what's possible.
You'd expect falls, wouldn't you, especially on something this tenuous, this small. Hard to get it right. Qianso, again, I'm putting some money on her flashing this one. She's chalking up as well. Boulder and Lead rocks towards the 10. Oh, wow.
Boulder Lead really hugging that right foot as he steps over to the 10. And
that was magic stuff there. He seemed to sort of hang. He only had 1 point of contact.
Really impressive. And it's not as easy to stand there as these folks are making it look.
Right.
Nor is it easy to launch to this finish hole for Chai Seo, but she makes it look easy there.
And look at the flexibility of Boulder Lead's ankles there as well. He was like duck stepping his way through that.
Really impressive the way she's able to maneuver.
Qianso on a flyer. She gets that flash, and no! Boulder Lead, although he had 2 hands, we're looking for control. That won't be control, and he won't even try to look at the judges in a cheeky way.
Yeah, you saw him there, like just as a last resort, hoping to go for something on top of the hold, but nothing there, unfortunately, for Doyoon, but a great first attempt, getting 10 points. His teammate now is going to hope to repeat the same and really wants, you can see both Doyoon and Yu Jung here.
Oh wow, another flash.
Another flash here.
Wow, she looks so casual in that one as well. So women's have got the maximum minus 0.1 for the attempt from Shen's. Oh no, sorry, maximum. So yeah, 50 for them. All right, let's see.
He does what he needs to. He set himself up well. What I was saying before is it's a long way from the handhold, and so the competitors are like really going to look to try to place that foot as best they can so that as they rock over, they leave themselves as much space as possible to get that other foot through.
I love that camera shot of how slopey the jib is that you guys.
It's no good. It's no good at all. I mean, if we could have had nothing there, we might have had nothing there because, again, going back to the discussion, this is something ground setters are often discussed, but you'll often put a hold there just to get that separation because you don't necessarily just want to award at the top because, as we've seen, people doing here almost falling here, going to 10 again and proving the point that you can certainly fall after you've got that red hold.
Yeah, somehow he saved it, came back into the 10. Now this is the step through. He's totally missed it right now, but then the right foot pops. I think he rolled the dice.
Painful there.
Yeah, one too many times on that one. Can't always get away with it from Boulder and Lead. This is a hard boulder, which is good, I think, in terms of the competition, you know. I think whoever manages to make the breakthrough on this will step ahead of the rest. It's not going to be Yu-Jun Chon on that attempt. Team Korea's men team, by the way, seem to have had a conversation with the same hairdresser. They literally all have the same haircut. I'm reminded of that World Cup when Romania all dyed their hair bright blonde.
Maybe they went to Romania.
All right, John gets stood up high. And they are cruising this first power move as well.
But you can see there, if they rush that top section, you saw how much care and effort and attention to detail they put on that first attempt. They're not paying as much attention to it anymore, and it's costing them.
So maybe just stepping back a little bit here. And this is where I think the individual format is different, because you do have those moments you know you have to rest. In this, there's a temptation to go the moment your teammate comes off the wall, and that franticness is something we've noticed quite a lot.
Absolutely.
Let's see if he can get this then, stepping through.
He has made it over to this foot once before. Oh, great to balance there. This is not easy.
No, it is not. And he went too fast, I think, the time before, and he is slowing this all the way down here. Finally, a pop, and no! So, is there no texture underneath as well?
Well, the hold underneath is certainly much better as a thumb than the women had to deal with on their first boulder. But the problem is that you need to have your weight really shifted to the left.
And I'm sorry, he's going again as well. So they've decided that he's closer, he might get the maximum points, whereas his teammate is either too tired or too far away.
That's where that strategy comes into play. You want to send up the climber that has the best opportunity to earn the most amount of points for your team.
All right, well, let's see where that's left them. With the overall score, as we watch, just some reminders as well. The women both flashed Chen, so on just a blinder of a comp, 2 out of 2 for her. She's on fire, and this was her teammate as well. Also a flash, looked super casual, and then the smile came out at the very end. And look at that from Chen. So it's so good to see how this animated. You don't often see it. So 129.9 is Korea's score. They did have a good round. I'm not sure that's going to be enough if Japan have an average round on this one.
If they have a perfect round again, it's going to be tough coming into the final.
Let's explain what's going on here. Because they've finished the normal boulders, the coaches and the athletes will discuss who takes on the mixed boulder. I'm sure they'll have an idea, having seen them, but it will just be touching base, making sure everyone's stood in the same place. 2 out of the 4 will move forward to the final climb. And last thing, Garrett, sorry, there's a lot to get through here. Team USA's appeal was denied. So that point.
I read your mind.
Exactly. Okay, Team Israel have work to do here. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, and for Team Korea, you know, picking who goes on to that final mixed boulder, it's going to be a question of who has the best capabilities technically and who has the most physically left.
All right, so flashing the zone, it looks like from Maya Dream up on the right-hand side.
Starting out really strong here. Second guessing where she's placing her foot. A great save there from Adi.
Oh, Orin back.
Another save there.
Yeah, Orin has a top for Maya. She looked really good. I mean, this boulder obviously doable for the women here. You've just got to perform.
Absolutely.
Orin, though, has pressure. He didn't get anywhere near boulder number 1. No zone, no top. He needs something.
He really does. And unfortunately, there's a...
He saved it with the left hand.
And what's so special about that is it was all intuition. You could see him there. As he was starting to fall, he just, at the last minute, went with his right hand and made it work. And, you know, as we were running through these boulders, we thought going right hand is going to be easier. You see there, wow, so much action happening. Alma getting a top as well. And here comes Israel's second climber, Adi.
Well, it was Orin rolling the dice there. It worked out for him. Adi now will get some inspiration from that, you'd imagine. And look at the encouragement from the team. All beneath him, but that, no, not going to count.
And here comes that pressure again that you talked about before. Now you've got all 3 of your fellow climbers. Look at all 3 of them on the brush crew. Your little pit stop team.
Some athletes will respond really well to it. Some will struggle. And especially considering this is, I know we did this format a while while back in Salt Lake, but for a lot of these climbers, it's the first time they've ever had to work as a team. And that's interesting, that one.
And Israel showing great teamwork there. Everybody taking a different hold as they brush, helping Audi try to stand under this foot and make his way to 25.
By the way, can you guess South Korea's team selection for the mixed boulder?
I'm going to guess Chaeyoon Seo
Yep.
and Doyoon Lee.
Exactly. So they're putting their two favourites in
All
there.
right. It's a good thing I can't bet either.
I know. All right. So Adi comes over, hits the 10. See if he's awarded that one. I think the judges will be a little bit more reticent to give it after the appeal, but let's see. And Orin giving some advice on that one, and the women giving some advice as well. He's changing shoes, I think. So
yeah, smart, because he's got to really stand on that small foot, and you want something maybe a little bit stiffer so that you have a little bit more security as you step that right foot through, which is inherently pushing off your left foot. So if you have any sort of additional margin, you want to take it here.
All right, so Adi will go once again up to this power move, foot swap again. You can see, I think is it different shoes, or maybe he put a smaller shoe on?
Could have been a smaller shoe, yeah. Maybe he just restrapped it, but definitely. Oh, wow, what a great shot there. You can see really just how small that is. Grabbing the back of this hold this time.
Fingernails in action, little wobble with the feet here as he tries to find it. The ankle flexibility is so important on this, because you can't just hit it, you're going to turn it.
Absolutely. It's, you know, people always say when they're starting out climbing, oh, it's all upper body, right? But not only that, it's your ability to remain calm under pressure, which is something that's really important here. It's your ability to, as you said, have good ankle flexibility if you're standing or spearing on volume. And there too, it's important to have good hip flexibility. The more you can keep your hips open, the more you can step your foot through too.
And 3 flashes for Team Israel spells some disappointment for Team USA, you would imagine here, but can they get 4 out of 4? Ignoring it completely, falls down.
Gonna try to do something different, but
yeah, I don't think that was planned.
I don't know if there's too much different you can do there.
I think he fell off and tried to save it. You know, it's one of those where you go, oh my goodness, I'm going.
Well, kind of like what Oren did on his attempt. Yeah. He was kind of falling left, and you know, sometimes that's how the magic happens.
We saw it in Salt Lake this year, actually. There was a boulder where people were falling off and then realizing you could fall off, and actually it helped. So it was pretty cool to see. Different again from him. This is his last go. He didn't got 2 seconds.
Not enough time.
No. Well, 3 tops in a zone, though, is a good score from Team Israel.
Pretty good for Israel, yeah. They're going to be stuck in a position of hoping that Korea messes up or Korea doesn't do well on the mixed boulder.
Yeah, exactly that. And for Team USA, they would have wanted Israel to struggle there in terms of the competition. Not personally, I don't, you'd hope. But that was the top from Orin. Fantastic.
So much action. You can see just in the back of that shot even his teammate making her way up.
And this is the 2 flashes for the women. No problems. High left foot. And compared to Paloma, who had a very low foot, I think having it higher is a better movement.
Indeed, and probably just feeling a lot more comfortable, more power in that right hand.
Ooh, look at that, 129. So that is very close to Korea. So all to play for coming into final boulder. Wow. That made such a difference. They were in some trouble. They needed to step it up, and they did. And suddenly, this podium could be anyone's coming into the last climb.
It's certainly going to be trying to hear what they're saying there. Really curious to see who they pick for that final mixed boulder, because it's going to be a huge difference maker for Israel.
Yeah, and considering Orin flashed the slabby boulder, you'd think Orin would be a circle for the final mixed boulder, and he did struggle a little bit more, you know. So we'll see. We will see. Right now, Team Japan are in the perfect position. Perfect round before, and the women especially know they both should probably flash this boulder.
I think that's right. And you know, sometimes that can play both ways. As we saw with Miho, maybe she takes a little more time, maybe she brushes the hold a little more carefully, and sometimes being a little timid or a little careful can cost you. So hopefully they're able to climb confidently, like we all know they can.
Sarato as well is cool, calm, and collected on the slab. Let's keep an eye on Mao Nakamura on the right.
Starting off confidently for sure.
Oh, Serato goes. The men's boulder real tricky. The women's boulder seems a bit more doable. And yes,
quickly to the top here. Telling her teammate what to look for.
Yeah, you can see it be like, it's flat, it's okay, you know, which I love that.
Sota making his way to 10. Oh, not quite able to stick 10. And this could be really interesting now for the total game, because if neither men are able to do it here, that's only going to put them 10 points out of contention from the other Team Israel and Team Korea.
Miho launches, no issues from the Japanese veteran here as she comes down. Mal celebrates with her.
I spoke too soon because Miho just got her team another 25 points, and the gap is still fairly wide between Team Japan and Team Korea and Israel.
You are right, because if the men don't get this done, then yes,
it's still fairly close. Yeah. There's room to play.
Exactly.
For sure.
You have set a beast of a boulder on this, you and the team, of course.
Yeah, the team did a fantastic job, and you know, everyone here, the organizers have just been so fantastic. It's been really just an incredible place to be.
Yeah, it's been good, isn't it? I hope we return to Japan. Now, Sota needs points on the board here. He hasn't got this zone yet.
Yeah, Sota does not have a 10. Not able to get it that time either.
Wow.
And this is really starting to come down to the wire now. We're about halfway through their rotation, 2.5 minutes. And Sota hasn't got 10 points. And you would have imagined Serato to win by now.
Yeah, so first hesitation from Team Japan. I think indicating how hard this boulder is. But Sota, yeah, he's the one I'm surprised about here. So Serato. He's found a better placement for that right foot.
He does find the right foot better. Now stepping out left is what got him last time, and
he looks a bit sort of sheepish
got him this time too.
You kill one of the coaches looking up at him.
You can see him tapping his head, trying to think, what am I doing wrong? And it's such a subtle difference between what works and what doesn't work when you're playing with those margins here.
Sota Amagasa will be feeling the pressure right now. He's very close to his own. He has to get this for his team. That should be enough. Move that right foot and yes, there we go. So okay.
Definitely going to be relieved about that. So that's going to be a difference of 170 to 130 or so. So still okay for that last boulder to get in contention.
He's looking better than Serato for a second anyway. Now he's got very stiff shoes on as well, those Samoa unparalleled shoes, so interesting choice. And then Serato with his normal La Sportivas. Oh, that was a bit too rushed for him.
Wow, and we'll come down to the final minute here. And neither of them have really been able to set up solidly to go to the finish.
No. Team Japan looking slightly shaky for the men right now. Finds the left. Oh, again, wow. And I think it's a bit of a spiral effect. You know,
you're right.
It's very hard to shut out the vibes from the rest of the team on this.
Yeah, in a normal competition, you might take some time to reset yourself. But if you have all that adrenaline going, you've got to have somebody from your team remind you that you need to take a breath here and take a second, because it's important that you get to the top and try to shut this thing down while you can.
Yeah, they know that. If they can get 2 tops, it was kind of done, but they have not done that. So Serato has one last chance to put even more distance. This is again. He just went a little too early. The crowd can't believe it either.
Really surprising here from Team Japan. 10 seconds left. We'll see if Sota's able to get it done. There's a tough section to have to rush through, though. Not a whole lot you can do if you're moving fast.
Well, look, surprise from us all, but in terms of the comp, this is brilliant stuff. We like a bit of this, but wow.
Wow. Team Japan still showing good body language, still excited, still happy.
Well, they are considerably ahead, let's be honest. So they are still okay.
Indeed. They're really in a position where they're probably only going to need to get 10 points or 1 top on this final boulder, but Mao making quick work of that there on women's number 2. Miho doing the same here. Both of them just look so solid, stepping into that left foot and pulling on that final right hand. It was never a question of if, but when.
Yeah, exactly, and those two are so experienced. All right, Japan lead the way, 169.8 over 129.4. 8.9, so it would have been so far ahead if the men could have done it. Israel also in touch, and Team USA now out of the running. But this is going to be brilliant because, I mean, theoretically, Korea and Israel could still beat Japan, and certainly that silver medal very much up in the air. So all to play for here.
Indeed.
Wow.
You see Team Japan having the same discussion here. My money's going to go on Mao and Serato, but it's really tough to say because Sota did look pretty good on that second climb, so we'll see what the team ends up deciding.
I agree with Mao. Like, she is the slab queen. Like, you know, that's her style.
She just looks so solid on women's #1 and standing up on that foot, and there's a lot of that to do over there on. That being said, there is a jump on that final boulder, and we're looking at it here now. As you step over across this start, so you're going to start on this small hold, step up pretty straightforward, but there's a really small hold on the inside of this Elliott Master for the flat hold. You have to then stop on the back of this hold and then step over into the revival. Then go grab 10 either with your right hand and palm or grab with your left hand and balance, and then you really have to launch that final 25 points. And so, you know, that's somewhere that Miho might have an advantage, but Mao potentially has the advantage down low. So I don't envy Team Japan's selection here.
Well, let me tell you the scores. We'll find it out regardless. But for Israel, it's going to be Oren and Alma who take on the final boulder. And for Japan, we are correct. Serato and Raka and Mao Nakamura will be competing there, which is a smart decision. You know, we know how good Miho is, but Mao is the slab master, and yes, it's hard to look past Serato, even if Sota is on form here.
Yeah, and Serato has just been on form everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole World Cup season, World Championships. It would have been very surprising had Team Japan not picked Serato.
Just to remind everyone where we are, we're in Japan. This is the IFSC Nations Grand Finale. We've had the lead mixed competition last night. We're finishing off the boulder comp right now, and tomorrow there will be a paraclimbing exhibition which will be broadcasted. And of course, the World Climbing Club has been, the first episode was released this morning, Japanese time, and the second one will be on Monday. But if you're watching this thinking, hang on a sec, there's a Laval World Cup. There is a Laval World Cup, paraclimbing in France. That's going on today and tomorrow. So much action in the final IFSC weekend. Okay, so this is the mixed boulder. This is where Garrett next to me has to throw all his professional experience in front of this.
It's all come down to this.
And it really has as well. What a crescendo of fun.
Yeah, for Korea and Israel, it could not be. I guess it could be tighter in the sense they could be tied, but it's pretty tight here with a difference of about 0.2 between the two teams.
Yeah, 0.2 is just such a tiny amount here. All down to attempts. All right, so we reset here. Team Japan is still on stage. I think they're just going to sit there and chill. We are waiting for Team USA. And Team USA, although they're out of the running in terms of the podiums...
And you can see Japan even walking away there. Nothing to gain from watching Team USA, Japan says.
No, there are TVs backstage as well, so they can have a cheeky little look and get out of the eyes of the crowd. Team USA.
Although I will say, watching Zoe could be beneficial. Zoe has proven herself to be very capable on the last couple of boulders, and I think she could inform a good bit of how people might approach this boulder. I
agree. And Declan has been the standout men's performer in lead as well yesterday. He got to a brilliant high point on Route 1. Doesn't like it that time.
Looks confident there on his first attempt, though. Steps all the way up to the back of the skyball, which is another option, the back of that red hold. But it kind of throws your body off a little bit more as opposed to standing on the back of the black hold, which allows you to be leaning into the wall a little bit more.
So 64.8 is USA's current total here. Opportunity to add 50 or so points to that. Of course, we'll leave them outside of the top three regardless, but this is, and you know, I chatted about this with a few of the athletes. You know, these boulders are still World Cup style boulders and lead routes. There's still all this comp experience. There's an awful lot to gain for this, and look at this from Declan. Oh, the bubble.
Just fumbles going up into the top. Isn't able to quite get set up for that position. You can see teammates Paloma and Vale looking on, probably wishing they had an opportunity to climb this boulder, but ultimately it was Zoe and Yi, or excuse me, Zoe Yi and Declan Osgood that got selected to try to get it done for Team USA.
Yeah, Zoe's look, oh, little, is that knee in action there? I like that. Not very good.
Interesting. I'm not quite sure why Zoe doesn't feel quite as confident on this left hand. Maybe a bit of pressure getting to her, although I'd be surprised if it was that, since there's not really too much for Team USA at this point. They're out of the prize money. It's really just a matter of climbing for pride, and at that point, you know, as a coach, as an athlete, you got to be thinking, you know, just leave it out there on the table.
Yeah, give it everything. Let's see if it can. Declan looked good before. This was where he made the mistake, though. Upgrades the hands, and then, oh no, the left foot goes again. That's better though. Right, quite a large pop into a pocket, but that's the top. So points on the USA's overall total there from Declan. I said to you before we came on, oh, is that move like a long, long way? Because it looks it, and you said it's less big when you're on it.
Yeah, that's right. So it does look like a long way when you're just looking at it here from this angle. But the real challenge of the move is actually getting yourself into the position to jump from. And you saw that from Declan. Once he was able to actually get his body up and in position, it was okay. We'll see if Zoe's able to repeat the same here. Looking a lot better this time. But also opting to stand on the back of the red hold as opposed to on the back of the black hold. It was what Declan did, so it's certainly possible, but yeah, we'll see if they work out another way to maybe do this for Zoe, or if Zoe figures out something entirely new.
Yeah, getting some coaching advice there from Team USA.
Another way they could approach it, she's a bit smaller, but another way they could approach it is to palm on the lower big slice there, the red and black hold, the lowest of the sort of three there slices. You could palm with your left hand and then go right hand to the uppermost one as you step this left foot out. A lot more coordination involved, but a little bit more secure in that you can sort of press with your palms and create some tension against it with your right hand.
Right. Well, Zoe has options then, and about a minute 10 in order to do this. Careful with the feature searches. Doesn't look comfortable. It's going to have to pop, and it's such a dynamic way of doing that move.
Yeah, and if you're really imbalanced, you can almost get away with not having any hands whatsoever. So if she chose to stand on the back of that black hold as she stepped over, with seeing how good her footwork's been in the rest of the competition, I wouldn't be surprised if she could just stand there without any hands.
Yeah. And I love the coaching that goes on, because, you know, these coaches have spent hours with the athletes. They know the kind of coaching they need in a pressure situation. And I do think that the, coaching can make a big difference here. But Zoe
not quite hitting that left foot where she wants to. We'll see if she gives it another go, but probably not a ton of motivation for Zoe either, knowing that even if she does get zone here, it's not really making a big difference towards the overall team score. Yeah, and you can see just a little bit disappointed there. Team USA in general has fought so hard to make it through the elimination round, through qualification, and it wasn't what they were hoping for, I'm sure, for finals.
No, but a finals position and their final IFSC comp of the year. And Team USA certainly have had a great time here in Japan, and they will leave the stage. No podium for them, but a lovely top at the end to seal things. Okay, now this is where things get very interesting, because as we can see, Israel, Korea and Japan all in touch, but Korea and Israel especially, as you said, 0.2 apart. And that just means really it could come down to attempts to a zone, it could come down to tops. It's wide open coming into this last time.
Yeah, it's all up to what Korea does here. Because if Korea is able to give two flashes, there's no way for Israel to pull back. But if they even have a little bit of a fumble, the door's wide open for Israel.
So, Jochen Lee and Chen So, the selected athletes for this final climb. They've saved their stars' energy and skin for this moment, keeping them back from the lead competition. Let's see. Oh, sorry, not from the lead competition, from the Boulder elimination round, I should have said. There are too many rounds.
It's a lot to keep track of between lead and Boulder and points. And
it's just a lot.
No, it's been a long weekend full with a lot of action, and I'm not surprised that we're confused with just how incredible these performances have been.
That's right. Boulder and Lead needs to trust. Oh, that was very risky and a bit too fast.
There, the first fumble, and just you can see there on his teammate's face. She knows what that means, and if Chaeyoon is not able to get this done immediately, Israel's going to have a good look at winning this competition, or excuse me, getting second place in this competition, pending something going horribly wrong with Japan. And there it is again with Chaeyoon.
She points at what she thinks is the sweet spot here, but for Do-Hyun Lee. Lee is, I think he's looking like a little, he's smiling, but it's one of those like grins, you know, like slightly forced smiles.
He was opting to use the top of the red, which I'm sure he saw Declan do. And again, I think as a competitor, you know, if you see somebody go ahead of you, it can work both ways. You can know, okay, that's the exact beta I want to use, or it can get in your head a little bit of maybe getting in the way of trying something different, or potentially putting more pressure on you to do it.
Do-Hyun Lee turns down.
He does use the back of the black hole this time and looks much more confident as he steps over.
Can't underestimate Lee's feet though. We saw Declan sliding around.
That's right. He looks a little bit more comfortable there, and certainly looks a little more comfortable going to the top, going in with a little bit more physical margin than Declan had and a little bit more technical prowess, so you really saw that pay dividends there.
Yeah, so Do-Hyun Lee gets it done in 2. Chaeyoon would like to get it done equally quickly here.
Chaeyoon opts for the same thing there, and now can she complete the sequence all the way to the top?
This jump will be a bit further for her. She'll have to pop more. Got to be more accurate. Big moment for her. No, that's not going to be it. She was a long way off.
Wow. Wow. The door opening wider and wider here for Israel.
So, yeah, a couple of mistakes there. It's a long launch. It looked like she got everything wrong on that jump. And, you know, I'm not disrespecting her. It's just the hips were gone. She was moving away from the wall. Just didn't get it right.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the things, too, is that...
Clean your teeth,
Love
everyone.
that shot.
That's what I'm taking from that.
Love that shot. The crowd really getting into it. But, yeah, one of the things as a smaller climber for Chaeyoon, she's fighting that barn door in a totally different way that some of the other climbers are, especially some of the bigger men, in that she's having to step up much higher now and having to lay back to generate that same sort of tension from her feet. So there's just not as much space, and then generate further relative to her own body size to go to the finish. I do think it's totally possible for Chaeyoon, and we'll see if she's able to get it done here.
Yeah, she'll have learned from that. She looks smoother on the bottom half of this. It was just the setup, I think, that got her. I think she was eyeing it up before getting the feet in the right place.
And you can see that's crucial, getting their right foot in a better position, much better that time.
It was. She's trying, though, to sort of stand up, then go right. I wonder if it needs to be one movement.
Yeah, I think also committing with both hands could bode well for her, because if you're just trying to catch it with one hand, there's an element of maybe you're lacking some of that confidence. But you know, Chaeyoon is no rookie when it comes to being on the circuit, and so I have no doubt that she'll have confidence here if she gets into the position one more time. But she has shown to be pretty sound here on this bottom section. We'll see if she's able to make it work.
Less than a minute then.
A little bit more out of control. Let's see if she gets the right foot where she wants it. She does get it. Gets into the hold, but isn't quite able to get up there. And that's again going to come from the dynamics of being a little bit smaller, maybe not having quite as much leg power as well as she sits there, but you know, being a little bit smaller, it's going to be from a deeper squat position. And for anybody that's tried a single leg squat, you know that it's a lot harder to squat from down on the floor versus above your knee.
Going to be buzzer beaten? No, it's not. So there we go.
Wow.
Zone only, 164.7. Israel will be sniffing some blood in the water here as they come off.
And yeah, this just got really, really interesting. There's all sorts of different scenarios in which Israel can win this now. And we'll see which one they take, or if
If exactly, because you know it is a slab, it's low margin, I think, on this one, especially at the beginning. It seems to be so far. So anything can happen. I do like this. Okay, well that's the scores. Japan still lead. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct.
Yes, we
so,
are looking at the right scores, and we are off by about 35 points. And so that's literally just one flash and one flash to 10.
So Korea cannot get a gold medal, having finished this, because Japan are in gold medal position already.
That's right.
So Korea will have to settle for silver or bronze here with this one. So actually, although we were slightly overplaying perhaps Japan here, they are actually in a very good position coming into this final line. Really, I think this is going to be bronze and silver.
Well, I will say though, if both Israel climbers do this climb, it will put the pressure on Japan to at least get to the 10 points for one of their climbers, which I have pretty good confidence on.
Yes, exactly that. If we're sort of doing I love how much analysis and guessing comes into this, but look at this Oren.
Wow, really showing that he came to play here.
And that's better than Do-Kyun Lee as well. Wow, so a flash for him.
He was even missing a finger there on that final hold and was still able to make it work. He does his job.
And after that miss of Boulder #1, which I thought he was going to get really with his caliber, that is a good return from him.
It really is, yeah.
But really
stepped it up for his team when it mattered.
The pressure on Alma right now, because look, if Sharon So can't do this, she's one of the best boulders in the world. Alma, in terms of certain experience, is not as good as her on paper. Oh my goodness, the pressure she must
The pressure is really on, and with not flashing to the 10 points there, it's not going to come down to some tie-break method. It's going to come down to whether or not she does or doesn't get to the top.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, the odds are stacked against her here. But, and also Japan would have a victory lap if this doesn't get done as well. So
that's right. That's right.
Very, very interesting stuff here. But we saw this yesterday in lead. You know, Kim came on last. She was 17. She hadn't the experience. You know, she knew where she needed to get to in that lead round, and she performed. So it is possible.
Yeah, and we saw it the other day in Boulder too, in the elimination round. Canada's Babette. I'm completely spacing on her last name now, but Canada's Babette was able to get the mixed boulder, which some of the men were not able to do. And you know, you never know. On paper is one thing, but in practice is something entirely different. So hopefully Alma has plenty of time now, although as you said, that pressure is on her.
Yeah, it really is, and the teammates sitting on the left-hand side of the stage just to keep things a little bit cleaner on the mats here for everyone. Right, lands. And whereas Cheon took a couple of goes, Cheon was looking more solid on this step over.
Yeah, you can see just from this angle, the back of that black hole is not much to stand on. So, you know, Cheon was making it look a lot easier than it actually is, but there's a reason why Alma does not feel comfortable here.
Yeah, she shakes her head, and that little frustration is starting to kick in here.
But you can see trying to get out of that position really, really quickly instead of trusting the right foot and giving herself a little bit more time.
And it's so hard to coach her through this, both the coach and Orin, because Orin did it in a flash. A lot of it would have been instinct. You know, he won't necessarily remember all the finite things he did. So it's very difficult to convey that.
Yeah, that being said, I'm not sure there's any rule against them getting back on. So if he wanted to potentially get back on to the climb and figure out a position, I don't know if there's any rule against that. It would, of course, take away time from her. But another strategy thing that, you know, could come into play as this format gets more and more
just to confirm, he wouldn't get double points. So if Orin does it 6 times, he's
I do believe there is
a
limit on how many points that somebody can get, but
although that would also be great. Let's do that. How many times do you top a boulder in a row? So Alma does take a breath, and I think she needs to here, because again, this is this thing with this format, is you still need to rest. It's still physical. You need to give time, your brain time to compute what's happening.
Ooh, and it's coming down to crunch time here for Alma.
I'm not sure that she's going to get this. And if she doesn't get this, the scores will stand and stay as they are here. So it'll be Israel in third, Korea silver, Japan gold.
Oh, looking really close that time. You can see her teammates over on the side there shouting words of encouragement. I'm not sure if they're telling her different ways of doing it or just shouting encouragement, but certainly getting closer and closer here for Alma.
Right, she drops down again.
Oh, really close there.
Man, I might have to eat my words, you know, because 20 seconds, it's possible. Let's see.
Certainly on this. And again, if she gets to that 10, there's a good chance that she can set up for going to 25. But quickly running out of time here. Only 7 seconds left on the clock, and unlikely that's going to be enough time for Alma to get it done. And see that it's not.
So, with that, the competition in terms of our podium is concluded. So, Japan will take gold, Korea silver, and then Israel will take the bronze medal. However, we'd love to see this top done by Team Japan, and they, of course, will give it their all.
I have a feeling they're going to oblige.
Yeah.
Especially after not having topped men's 2. I have a feeling Serato is going to want to come out and do something.
That's a very good point, yes.
Pretty special.
So Serato and Mao, but that's the scores as they stand. Japan 169.8 have won the comp. Korea 164.7. Close to Israel, but eventually Orin's flash couldn't make up for Alma's non-send of that Sejian-So's climb, although she would have liked to get it. Wasn't as important as we thought it might be. All right, well, as the athletes wait on the side of the stage, we begin with Team Japan as they come on. Mao Nakamura, the slab queen for Team Japan, and Serato Enraku, the all-rounder. He came
Phenom.
on the Phenom, exactly that. He came on at 16 onto the IFSC World Circuit, and though we were like, oh, maybe he's one to watch for the future, it turned out he was one immediately to watch.
Yeah, it really, he came on and there was no looking back. Serato has proven again and again that he's just capable in every style, in every part of the world, on every type of climb. But a fumble there from Serato, and I'm blown away because I would not have expected Serato to come out and fall on this move.
He's had that a few times. He had that in the last one, that little smile, and there's a little bit of sort of like sort of a ruthful little smile, just like, oh, good. You know, it's like one of those you're going to get told off by the coaches kind of moments. But look at this from Mao.
Mao looking really good as she walked over there, almost looking like there was a different hold she was standing on.
Oh, she's such a wonderful slab climber here. She eyes the top, stands into it very, very close. And it's that movement. Jen took sort of a stand up and then a move. She did it in one sort of arcing movement.
Yeah, she put her right foot on. I don't know if you noticed, but she put her right foot on that foothold that Serato's grabbing right now. And that's going to potentially open up your body a little bit more instead of jumping off your left foot and staying a little more square to the wall, which we're seeing Serato do right now.
Well, Serato puts that little smile behind him. He gets it done in just one third attempt.
Looking about as easy as I thought it might look for Serato.
Well, a little breathe of relief there. Look at the coaches as well. Good work from Serato Enraku, and Mao Nakamura, having come one hand away, I think she might get this one. Chalks up and gets ready on what could be the final round of the IFSC Nations Grand Finale. Mixed competition here, if Mao can put it all together.
Looking so good there. You see, like, just getting into that position, almost no hands, and then kind of catching that hand as an afterthought almost.
Right foot, as you said.
Goes for the right foot again.
Yeah, it's down, isn't it?
Able to stick it.
Well, Japan with 216.6 win the competition by some margin eventually. Some revenge for last night's silver medal. They wanted to win the lead, they couldn't quite, but they do win the Boulder and the prize money, and bragging rights are theirs in their home country, of course, as well.
They got to be so proud, and Japan's got to be so proud of their team. Their team has just shown again and again that they are the ones to beat.
They really are. Well, what a way to finish our competition. And Garrett, are you happy with how things worked out in terms of the Boulder setting?
Absolutely. If nothing comes off the wall, I'm happy.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, my friend, I know you've got things to do. I'll sort of wrap up the rest of the competition, but thank you for your work. And I just also wanted to say thank you for the Olympics, because, I mean, I can't, if we think this is pressurized, I can't imagine what that must have been like.
Yeah, the Olympics was something different entirely. You know, Tokyo was one thing, but being that Paris was sort of the culmination of everything that climbing had tried to accomplish and couldn't accomplish in Tokyo without a crowd, it was really, really a special moment.
Well, you did a great job in your assets in the sports, sir. Thank you very much for your work, and we'll see you next season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, we will move on to the confirmation of the final score. The official final bracket will be announced by the competition management team. Please wait a moment until the results are confirmed.
All right, everyone, we are going to finish things off with the flower ceremony, interviews, of course, and then the podium to conclude this side of the events. But the action doesn't stop here. We've got paraclimbing exhibition tomorrow that will be broadcasted, and of course the Laval Paraclimbing Competition World Cup that is in France right now, so that will come as well. So stick with us for the next couple of minutes while the flower ceremony takes place.
This is the moment all be waiting for. The world's #1 team will now be decided. Everyone in the venue, let's get excited together. And now it's time to announce the final ranking.
In third place, Israel! In second place, Republic of Korea! And then the winner of the national Boulder final is Japan!
Please give a big round of applause.
さあ、それではこれより優勝チームのインタビューを行います。その他のチームの皆様は一旦お席でお待ちください。
We will now begin the interview with the champion team. All other teams, please return your seat for a moment.
それではクライミンググランドファイナルズボルダー見事初代王者に輝きましたチーム日本の皆さんです。
Congratulations to the Japan, Team from Japan.
まずは安楽宙斗選手見事初代王者に輝きました。今日の決勝を振り返ってみていかがでしたでしょうか。
To Sorado.
はい、みんなで力を合わせて、優勝という結果を残せることができてとても嬉しいです。
For Sorado. So, how do you feel right now? So I'm very glad to get the great result as a team.
そして野中美穂選手今大会キャプテンとしてチームを引っ張りました。この男女混合というこの大会らしいこの4選手での戦いいかがでしたでしょうか。
はい、今回は新しいフォーマットでの大会だったのでどうなるかちょっとドキドキしていたんですけれども、全選手、男女それぞれもそうですし、選手一人ずつのクライミングの良さだったりそういったところがすごいうまく出たいい試合だったなと思います。
For Miho, as a captain, So how do you feel about a new format? So this time on female and men's mixed format in this event. And she said, I'm very excited about this new format and also individually, so we have accomplished very well.
続いて天笠壮太選手、男性の2課題目非常に難しかったなと思ったんですが、その時に男女4選手で話し合うシーンなどもありました。まさにこの大会ならではなといったシーンだったんですが、あそこを振り返っていかがですか？
そうですね、状況はすごい今回の大会の特徴的な場面だったと思います。普段は個人競技なので、一人で戦うんですけど、今回はチームで意見を出し合いながらこうやって戦うことができて、ちょっと完登することはできなかったんですけど、すごい楽しみながらいいパフォーマンスができたんじゃないかなと思ってます。
So for athletes, so they discuss together. So how do you feel about these situations? So usually I play as an individual, as a performer. And so today I couldn't complete the climbing, but we finished, discussed together, and also we completed as a team. So that was wonderful.
続いて中村真央選手、改めて今日中村選手は3完登でした。
For Mao, so she accomplished 3 climbings.
この大会の特徴、ミックス課題に挑んでいただきました。男性女性が同じ課題を挑む、振り返ってみていかがだったでしょうか？
そうですね、最後の状況でもう日本が優勝してるっていうのは分かってはいたので、せっかくならこの大会の特徴的なミックス課題を女子でも登れるっていう風なすごい印象を持って皆さんにもちょっと感動して帰っていただけたらなと思ったので、登れてすごく嬉しいです。
So for now, so this event features a mixed format. So how do you feel about this one? I'm very excited. So I climbed 3 climbers. And also before that, as a mixed format, so I knew already, so we were a winner. So I just, until at the end, I really want to accomplish this one as well. So I'm so super excited to finishing this competition. Thank you.
そしてコーチの方にもお話を伺いたいと思います。鈴木祐希コーチです。どういったプランで今大会この決勝を臨まれて、そして素晴らしい結果となりました。この結果踏まえていかがですか？
そうですね、最終のミックス課題っていうのは、一人ずつ選ばないといけないっていうところで、ポイントの差だったりっていうのを、一個前の課題で選手を決めないっていうところが普段と違う戦略を使うっていうところで、コーチ自身も頭を使いながら普段とは違う感覚っていうのを持ちながら、緊張感を持ちながらやったっていうところが大きく違うポイントでした。
For Coach Suzuki, so what was your strategy at this competition today? So final mix event. So I haven't decided who's going to be the climbers, but I'm just observing individually, and this time I use completely different strategies than usual. So that was quite good.
ありがとうございました。見事クライミンググランドファイナルズボルダー初代王者チーム日本の皆さんでした。おめでとうございました。
Congratulations, Team Japan!
さあ会場の皆さん、改めまして4チームの全ての選手さんに大きな拍手をお送りください。All athletes
Well, there we go. The interview's done. The flower ceremony concluded, and the athletes getting a chance to clap with the audience who have been really enjoying tonight's show here, or this afternoon's show, I should say, after 4 p.m. here in Japan. Well, we'll have a little bit of a pause while we reset for the podium now, so do stick with us if you can. And a reminder, the World Climbing Club, free to watch on YouTube as we bring you highlights and more from the first lead competition that took place yesterday. So, bear with us. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the podium.
Please wait for a moment until the ceremony will begin.
会場の皆様、大変長らくお待たせいたしました。これより IFSC クライミンググランドファイナルズ福岡2025国別ボルダー表彰式を行います。
Ladies and gentlemen, now we begin the IFSC Nations Grand Finale Fukuoka 2025. The Nations Boulder Awards.
So here we go, podium time for our winners and bronze and silver, of course, as well as the athletes parade onto the stage on our giant podium that is the focus of our attention now. South Korea, Japan and Israel will share the stage. This will be the last medals given for this mixed gender team event that we've been experimenting with, trying here in Japan. As the IFSC return to this magnificent country.
まずはじめにプレゼンターをご紹介いたします。
Now, please welcome our presenters.
IFSC 副会長小日向徹、
Vice President IFSC Toru Kominata.
福岡県知事服部清太郎、
Governor of Fukuoka Prefecture, Seitaro Hattori.
福岡県議会副議長中尾正幸、
Vice Chairperson of Fukuoka Prefecture Assembly, Masayuki Nakao.
それではメダルと副賞の贈呈に移ります。
We will now proceed with the presentation of medals and prizes.
国別ボルダー銅メダル。
So here we go, the medals and trophies awarded to the athletes. Team Israel taking the bronze medal position, beating Team USA on the night. Not quite doing enough to jump above South Korea, who ended up in second.
イスラエルの選手コーチに銅メダルが贈られます。
Bronze medalist representing Israel, Brihet Oren, Mark Adi, Sapir Almer, Rima Maya, and Coach Jarkin Simon.
そして副賞といたしまして、自然豊かなこの福岡県で育った花のブーケが贈られます。
As a special gift, a bunch of flowers grown in Fukuoka will be presented.
このブーケには選手の皆様のさらなる躍進への願いが込められています。
It symbolizes our heartfelt wishes for the athlete's future success.
そしてもう一つ副賞といたしまして、ワンヘルス賞福岡のやめ茶が贈られます。
And as another prize, the One Health Award, Yame Tea from Fukuoka.
世界的にも高い人気を誇ります福岡のやめ茶。人、動物、環境が一つの健康につながるというワンヘルスの理念に基づいて生産されています。自国へ戻ってこのやめ茶を飲んで、ここ福岡を思い出してください。
Yame tea proudly produced in Fukuoka is highly regarded around the world. It is cultivated based on the One Health philosophy. The people, animals, and environment are all connected in one shared health. When you return your home country, please enjoy this Yame tea and remember your time here in Fukuoka.
それでは続いては国別ボルダー銀メダル韓国。
The silver medal in the nation's border, Team Republic of Korea.
韓 韓国の選手コーチに銀メダルが贈られます。
Silver medalist representing Republic of Korea, Lee Gi-hun, Chon Ye-jin, Oh Ga-eun, Yoon Ye-jin, Kim Ja-ha.
そして副賞といたしまして自然豊かなこの福岡県で育った花のブーケが贈られます。
As a special gift, a banquet of flowers grown in Fukuoka will be presented.
So, South Korea received their medals. Not sure why Chan So isn't there, but she's not, but she was, of course, a big part of that team earlier on. The flowers and medals awarded to our athletes.
そしてもう一つ副賞といたしましてワンヘルス賞福岡のやめ茶が贈られます。
And as another prize, the One Health Award, Yame Tea from Fukuoka.
And then finally, Team Japan standing in the middle. They lost last night to South Korea. They beat South Korea this time around.
IFSC クライミンググランドファイナルズ福岡2025国別ボルダー金メダル日本
So congratulations to Team Japan who stand on the top spot of the podium. What a performance from them. They were unassailable coming into the final climb, and it really was an awesome bit of climbing on women and men's 1 and 2 to get themselves into that position. Despite a few wobbles along the way, they showed all of their experience, and they walk away with the team gold.
Donaka Miho, Nakamura Nao, and Suzuki Yuki.
副賞として自然豊かなこの福岡県で育った花のブーケが贈られます。
As a special gift, a bucket of flowers grown in Fukuoka will be presented.
もう一つ副賞といたしましてワンヘルス賞福岡のやめ茶が贈られます。
And as another prize, the One Health Award, Yame Tea from Fukuoka.
そして優勝いたしました日本チームに IFSC クライミンググランドファイナルズ第1回のチャンピオンズカップがチームを代表して野中美穂選手に贈呈されます。
The winning team will be presented with the very first IFSC Nations Grand Finale Champions Cup.
受賞された皆さんおめでとうございます。
So congratulations to the athletes. The trophy given, Miho Nanaka holding it in the middle of the stage. And a great way to finish the IFSC comp season as we listen to the national anthem of Japan.
国歌を演奏いたします。会場の皆様、可能な限りご脱帽、そしてご起立をお願いいたします。
Now let us honor the gold medalist from Japan. Please rise for the national anthem if you can.
Well, there we go. The competition finished here in Fukuoka, and what a comp it was. So, to remind everyone, tomorrow here in Japan we have the paraclimbing exhibition that will be taking place and broadcasted, and of course the Laval Paraclimbing World Cup will be taking place simultaneously. It's on right now, in fact, in France. So remember that and keep your eyes peeled for all of the action on the IFSC website.
Now it's time for a cup lift. The winning team, please get ready and let's do a cup lift together, everyone.
Trophy lifted up. Congratulations to Team Japan. What a performance from them to get it done here on the night. Good stuff from them. Well, thank you to Gareth for joining me here in the commentary box, the chief resetter for the Boulder, giving all of his insights. Thank you to my co-commentators for the last couple of days. My name is Matt Groom. I'll be back tomorrow to bring you the action from the Para, and I'll see you at the Laval Paraclimbing World Cup in a few hours. As we say goodbye to Boulder, more action to come tomorrow. Thank you to everyone working behind the scenes, and congratulations to all the athletes. We will see you very soon here at the IFSC. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
So そしてね、フォトグラファーの皆様、チーム関係者の皆様、よろしければどうぞお願いいたします。では、フォトセッションです。プレゼンターの皆様、小湊様、服部様、中野様、ありがとうございました。
Our sincere thanks to Kominata, Hatomi, and Nakao. Thank you.
さあ、そして、選手のみでのフォトセッションです。
Now it's time for the athletes only photo session.
はい、そしてフォトグラファーの皆さん、よろしいでしょうか、大丈夫でしょうか。選手の皆さんもありがとうございます。ありがとうございました。改めましてどうぞ大きな拍手をお願いします。
Please give a big hand to the all athletes.
さあ、レシーブを見てました。RFC クライミンググランドファイナル福岡2025選手の素晴らしいパフォーマンス、感動ありがとうございました。Next celebration
Thank you, athletes, for your incredible performance at IFSC Nations Grand Finale Fukuoka 2025.
さあ、そして会場の皆さん、いや、いろいろとね、こうしてください、ああしてくださいという僕からもね、お願いが多かったと思いますが、この感動をね、一緒に作っていただきたかったんです。本当に一緒に作っていただきありがとうございました。感謝しかありません。いやー、福岡いいですか、最高です。ありがとうございました。
Thank you, Fukuoka. Thank you, everyone.
よくセッターは司令塔って言われるんですけど、試合を支配するというか、その責任を感じられる。
誰々に勝つとかじゃなくて、自分